Some people are just born leaders and take to leadership naturally, but others might have some learning to do. In competitive games like Rainbow Six Siege, good leadership can maximize efficiency, teamwork, and communication. When done correctly, of course. Let's get this straight. Companies don't ask their developers if they developed a good product. They're going to ask their customers if the developed product is any good. So why would you look at leadership any different? In order to become a great leader, you're not going to ask the great leaders how they lead, but you ask the people that follow them. A study performed by Gallup, including 10,000 followers, concluded that there are 4 basic needs that followers seek in a leader. These are trust, compassion, stability, and hope. If you can provide these 4 pillars of leadership, you'll become a person people want to follow. Speaking of following, people do not tolerate dishonesty and won't follow liars. If you send a message that your word isn't worth much, you'll be paid back on that. A breach in honesty can destroy a friendship, a team, or a complete community. Having trust in each other will also impact the efficiency and speed of the task in front of you. This can be default tasks like utility clear in the current meta, but this can also be a roam clear, or a rotation that needs to be made in order to pull off a successful attack. If you're working, or in the words of gaming, playing with a new teammate, you'll go through a get-to-know period. You're unfamiliar with their communication and playstyle, game philosophy, and even just their personality. Even a basic level of trust between 2 people can speed up things significantly, compared to people who don't have this bond. Trust allows you to skip that get-to-know period, and it will help you to get to the chase faster. And as we all know, time is of the essence in every round of Rainbow Six Siege. So how do you get people to trust you? This question has been asked of top leaders around the world. Leaders from organizations like Best Buy and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company. They responded with vague answers like, I'm just trustworthy, or people just know they see my behavior over time and they know they can depend on me. It's about being authentic, even if it means letting people see your flaws. As a leader, you have no choice but to be candid. Even when you deliver difficult news, like critique, improvements, or even if you need to replace or bench a player. Because this is the only way to build a form of trust that matters. Respect, integrity, and honesty are all outcomes of strong relationships that are built on trust. These are not things that need to be discussed. A good leader shouldn't have to waste time convincing someone of their honesty, of their trustworthiness. One of the outstanding conclusions I found is that successful teams talked little about the topic trust, and the discussions of struggling teams are dominated by this very topic. This speaks to the importance of the factor trust and the impact it has on the relationships that teammates have between each other. They need to feel comfortable. If the strat you're running doesn't feel comfortable, try something else. But first you need to understand why they don't feel comfortable on that specific strat. Studies suggest that it might be wise for you as a leader to take lessons from big leaders. Big leaders in the Rainbow Six Siege community, like Fabian from Vitality, Canadian from Space Station Gaming, and Magnet from Fnatic, who clearly do care about each of their teammates. If you have someone who cares, you are more likely to stay within a team, perform better, and be more likely to be engaged with the team. Be open about your own struggles, but show that you care about your teammates as well. Let them know that their college and their families come first, and that the team, practice, and matches come second. It's important that when you go in and initiate the communication with your team, you get a feel for how everyone is doing. If they feel prepared or have had a busy day, ask them how the day was so far, and what they plan on doing for the next upcoming days, of just the evening. It's important to understand that there are different styles of leadership. Let me know in the comments if you want to know more about that. But there is no wrong or right way to give leadership, but some people will respond better to one style than to the other. So get to know your players and get a feel for what kind of leadership they want, they need, and respond well to. Managing the emotions of your team might be one of the hardest things. It comes down to knowing your teammates. Do they love criticism, or do they completely shut down? Are they going to argue? If they don't respond well to your playstyle, you should find another way, because arguing during a match kills the complete vibe. Don't be afraid to experiment with the way you IGL. especially in the early phase. After some experimentation, you should make sure you reflect on that, also with the players you tried something new with. Followers also want a leader that provides a strong base. Your followers need to know that your core values are stable. This will help to prevent unnecessary change and ensure the people you lead to know what is expected of them. While it's critical in Siege to keep evolving and changing the strategies, the players need, at a very basic level, feel secure about having a spot on the team and that the team doesn't disband after a loss. At a wide level, nothing creates more stability than transparency. Followers need to have a basic sense of where the team is moving and what their time and effort will achieve. In order to be a good leader, you need to let the players see how they impacted the round, a match, or the team spirit. This will give the stability and confidence that will clear the way for improvement. Hope is something that gives your followers something to look forward to, and it helps them to see through the complexity and chaos that happens in a game like Siege. Now, it seems like an obvious requirement, and knowing that things can improve and will be better is a powerful motivator. When your team has no hope left of winning a round or a match, they will lose confidence, disengage, and feel often helpless. This makes your role as an IGL even more important in matches where you lost a couple of rounds in a row, and yet it feels like it doesn't get enough attention. That there isn't enough time invested in creating more hope and optimism for the future. At the same time, you need to keep the team focused on the round at hand. Don't let them get aggressive to get a kill when you're in a 5v2 situation. Rein in the players when they're getting reckless. Most leaders choose to respond, react to the demands of the match or the team. When you choose to initiate, however, you can act to create hope for the next round. A reason why we tend to stay in response mode is because it's easier. Agreeing to take on small objectives, for example focusing on comms, is easier than switching up the roles. Solving problems and removing barriers comes naturally, while initiating is much more difficult. While solving problems is an important part of the game, identifying opportunities and patterns will create more hope and optimism for the round to come. If you have watched Pro League and listened to the casters, you've probably heard them talk about the momentum a team can have. This comes down to the fact that when you're on a disadvantaged score, something like a 5-1 score, you can still win a match. It is a round by round game. A comeback of a lifetime starts with winning one single round. To conclude, be authentic. You need to be yourself and show the team that you care about the individuals. Furthermore, be transparent. Let the individual know how they impacted a win, rather than how they contributed to the loss. And last of all, initiate more than that you respond. By doing this, you create more hope, which will make room for improvement. If you are not the one creating hope, and helping the players see the way forward, chances are no one else is either.